Hey everyone, I'm Laura from the Choosing Content podcast, where I chat weekly about topics close to my heart: being content, living intentionally, and choosing joy. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. Welcome back if you were here last week with us. If you are new this week, thank you so much for joining us. To catch us all up together, last week I shared briefly about the types of memories some of the strong maternal influences in my life have shared with us. And this week I want to talk more about curating the memories and legacies that we're leaving for our families. While I was working as a teacher, we often referred to this as reflecting and improving. And today I want to reflect and improve upon leaving legacies and improving how we do that. With some of our family having dementia, it has seriously given me pause to the types of memories that we create, as well as what we put into them and how we document them. I had completely underestimated how much on a day-to-day basis that we need triggers, a photograph, a smell, a story to jog our memory. Sometimes our memories are not lost, they're just kind of hidden in the day-to-day. We require ourselves to do so much that it's hard to bring all those memories to the forefront. So unless we are intentional about having memory triggers, sometimes we tend to lose them. And in that case, sometimes you lose them anyway, but it certainly helps with family members to know what was there, to know the past. The other side of that is with my grandmother having lost so many physical treasures due to floods, weather situations, the elements. I think carefully about their storage. You can have some of the most treasured, wonderful physical things, but if they are not preserved in a way that protects them, they can be lost much more easily. And quite frankly, living in the greater Houston area, we know even the best laid plans fail, and sometimes we lose things. We lose things due to floods, to weather, and it's basically unavoidable. And if you have lost that, I'm sorry. The first thing that my husband and I are putting a value on is memory books. Our goal is to have a book from each year of our marriage to look back on together. These can be saved in a cloud. I'm not putting the pressure on myself to print them out all at once. I'll probably wait till there's a sale, or I'll do several at once. I wish I had done a better job of documenting our dating year and the first year of marriage, but I confess it was kind of a blur. We were building a house while we were dating, finishing the house as we got married. We had a lot going on, job changes, so that tends to kind of run together, and the photos are not the best photos. There are lots of selfies, there's lots of different things. After that first year, we really purposed in our heart to take better photographs. And when we can't take better photographs, I have been Googling the stock photos of vacation places, so we have a spot, and even if we aren't in the photo, at least we can remember the restaurant, remember the location. But with those memory books, it gives us a chance to tell our story together. It gives us a chance to go back and look about all the wonderful things we've done. We have done a fantastic job of making memories, but sometimes in the day-to-day you think, man, we haven't done anything. Well, really, we have. We just need to trigger our memory a little bit, and that's how our memory books will serve us. The next thing that we are doing to preserve our memories is creating treasure boxes. These are simply boxes for each of us to store our special treasures in, like baby items, family Bibles, other keepsakes we may come along and find. I'm going to be honest, making memory boxes was so daunting. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I was like, I am going to pick the wrong size box, and then I'm going to have all these boxes that don't match, and it's going to bother me. And what if I get too big of a box? What if I get too small of a box? I guess I'm looking for Goldilocks, the box that's just right. Well, just start somewhere. So right now, I have some Sterilite boxes, and they were just ones I have on hand. They do not match at this point, but once I have finish going through our closet, which I'm about 50% of the way there, everything's going to be in there. So we will have a treasure box with those memories in them. We have been very intentional about what we have saved for memory's sake. At one point in time, I had all of our save the dates extra cards, and I had all of our RSVPs for our wedding. There was like 200 of them. So I saved 10. I could have saved less, but I saved 10. Some of them were very special to me. Different people had responded, and there's just some neat stories behind that. So I went ahead and saved those, and I got rid of the rest. And I went through my daughter's clothes, and I didn't need a sleeper from each size. I kept a sleeper in each size, a church dress in each size, a casual dress. Not in each size, but like one of each. So there's one churchy outfit from being a baby. There's one casual outfit from being a baby. There's not multiples. There's not a sleeper in each size, and there's not multiple types of things in each size. It's kept it down to a minimum. I hope that makes sense. With those treasure boxes, when we pass, our daughter will have a few boxes full of memories. Honestly, I think it's going to be about 4 small to medium tubs. And quite frankly, if somebody brought 4 small to medium tubs into my home, I would be like, that is so much to go through. So I am confident that whatever we leave in those memory boxes will be enough. I have already completed the memory boxes to the best of my ability for my mom and dad. So I have a box of memories for my mom and dad. My mom's going home outfit, my dad's baby blanket, those type of things are together. And I'm sure we will add through the years to those. But we have taken a priority to keep those together. We know where they're at. They're not stashed. There's not special Broadway tickets stuck in a shoebox in with the shoes. There's very intentional movements to bring things together and to know what we have. And last but not least, if y'all were here last week, you know that my husband and I put emphasis on food. We're just foodies. I can't help it. We enjoy it. So one of the things that is extremely important to us is a family recipe book. This is where we are placing our favorites or our special ones from friends and family, and I'm hoping to create a digital cookbook to share with extended family and friends. Sure, it takes some time, but as I write a recipe for a friend, I can copy it to a file, and I'm always free to format it a bit later. Hopefully with some permission from family and friends a little bit later, I will be able to share that with you guys. We have things that we value. We have just things, we have memories tied up in our food, and we are going to treasure those as much as possible. By the way, y'all know that we have been after my mother-in-law's chocolate chip cookie recipe for close to 3 years now. Well, we didn't find her recipe last night, but I think we found very, very close to my grandmother's recipe. Oh, y'all, it was so wonderful. And so that is one I'm going to save and label. And also, speaking of family recipes, if you come across a family recipe that was given to you by a family member or a friend and it was given to them by someone else, sometimes check with them. One of my dear friends, her mom had a world famous red velvet cake recipe. Everyone in town knew about that red velvet cake. However, she did not have the physical recipe card any longer. Therefore, I was able to go through my things, and when I found it, I was able to pass it back to her because I wanted to make sure she had that memory for her mother as well. And she was most appreciative. So take some time if you find something that's special, like a recipe or anything else for that matter, check with your friends and family. They may be happy to get it, or they may say, oh, thank you so much, I have it. And in that case, you don't have to go, oh, I wonder. But the undeniable reality is that some memories are physical mementos or even recipes will simply be lost. Some are intentionally lost. The way my mother-in-law cooked roast on Sundays will likely go by the wayside in our household because I cook roast completely different than my mother-in-law did. It's okay. My sister-in-law, however, really does the roast the way my mother-in-law did. So if I need that, I need to go to my sister-in-law and ask. We were able to preserve different memories along the way. We took time out to cultivate the memory with that person. And I really encourage you, if there is something that you want, a recipe, a photo, a physical memento, something, talk with your family, talk with your extended family, and let them know, hey, let's spend some time in the kitchen together, and let's make the chocolate chip cookies together. Let's make the tamales together. Let's preserve the memory so that it can go on. This is special. And I think when we start recognizing that the day in, day out memories, the chocolate chip cookie recipe, the roast, when we start treating our everyday life moments as treasures and special and worthy of memories, I think we're going to see a family culture emerge, which I feel like so many of us are lacking. So let's create a family culture of appreciativeness. We can work years to build our assets, to pass on monetary value or a home full of treasures that may or may not be worth money. In the end, we truly don't return to the earth with much. Our loved ones select an outfit which we may or may not have worn, and there might be a small memento placed with us for burial, but we don't leave much. The truth is if we live for the Lord, we are living in the richest way possible. We are storing our treasures in heaven. 1 Timothy 6:6-8 in the NIV version says it like this: But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. This has persuaded me to occasionally check our life through a different perspective. Is our collection of things something a future generation family member would need? Are the things we have something we use? Are they detracting from the special memories to be made? Think of it like this. Are we drowning in pieces of games, or are we actually playing the games? Is our pantry running over with cookbooks, or are we actually making family meals from them? If it's not going with us, what purpose is it serving, and is it something we can be content without? I want to live with a content mindset and appreciate all that I've been given. I want to live fully. And I want to make sure that my treasure boxes and my memory books reflect what's important to me. My faith, my family, fellowship, and food. Those are my heavy hitters. And for us, they go so very well hand in hand. We want to be able to share our chocolate chip cookies with family and friends after church on Sunday. We want to know that trusting to choose in the Lord with all of our heart outweighs trusting in things that don't go to heaven with us. Am I too busy managing the things, or am I drowning in the physical memories? Am I so busy focusing on the physical things that I am failing to show my faith and my memories? Am I too busy to show my family and my memories? What are you doing? Is it what's valuable to you? And is that being reflected in how you're preserving your memories? And most importantly, am I living in a way that those closest to me can truly see my relationship with God? Am I teaching my child about prayer? Am I doing the things that matter right now versus just collecting memory so that hopefully somebody will remember me? But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world and we take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Again, this is Laura from the Choosing Content podcast. I hope to meet you back here next week. Now, let's go find the good today.